Hey, Calibrate Tools family. Today we're going to talk about something that we should always prioritize and put at the forefront of everything we do in the field, in the shop, or in the garage. And that's safety. The slightest mistake can cost you dearly. I do a lot of projects ranging from metal fabrication to woodwork and more, and I'm around tools all day long. And I see all the amazing things tools can do, but I also see the flip side to that. I see all the dangerous things tools can do as well. And in most cases involving injury, it's not the tool itself. Even though a tool can malfunction, it's due to human error. So today we're going to talk about some of the common mistakes that can cost you dearly. So stick around, I'll see you after this. Okay guys, you see that? That right there is a no-no. You have your tools on top of the ladder, and guess what can happen? You bump that ladder, those tools are gonna come falling down right on top of your head. Ask me how I know. Okay, mistakes I've made in the past. Look at that. You got drills on top of there. You got a hammer drill, you got a regular drill with a bit in them. Imagine that falling and that bit landing on you. All right? Things tend to happen like that. If you're gonna put your tools on top of a ladder, most ladders, or at least a lot of them, have these holes in here that you can put a drill in. At least that's what I use it for. So if you got a drill like that, put the drill in there like that, okay? If you have to. But my suggestion is not to put any tools on top of the ladder if you can avoid it. Hey, I know sometimes we're not paying attention. That's why we gotta have a regimen every time we approach or start a project. In other words, the number one thing is safety, and we should always have our safety equipment on when we start a project, okay? That's the number one rule, right? This is a hard hat. If I had a hard hat on when that thing fell on my head, I probably wouldn't have felt the pain that I did before. But that's why you should have something like this on hand anytime you're working around falling objects or potential falling objects, okay? Go grab you one of these. So if you're working with metal, specifically sheet metal like this, without gloves or any kind of hand protection, you're playing a dangerous game. Trust me, I've sliced my hands up countless times. Okay, I shouldn't say countless, but enough times to know that I need to put gloves on when I handle sheet metal. This is a 16 gauge piece of sheet metal, and as you can see, it's pretty thin, as it is, right? But you have them even thinner than this. You got 20 gauge, you got 22 gauge, and these things are like a piece of paper, right? It'll slice your hands to pieces if you don't wear gloves. So I suggest when you're handling any kind of sheet metal, wear gloves. Once again, I said gloves. Don't forget your gloves. And if you're handling heavier pieces of metal, why not wear a sturdier type of glove, especially if you're into welding and you're handling hot metal, okay? You want a sturdier type of glove to be able to protect your hands from looking like this. So anytime you're getting ready to use a piece of equipment that's going to produce a lot of debris, like I'm going to do right now with this miter saw when I cut this piece of wood, you want to make sure that you protect your eyes, okay? You only got two eyes, unless you're one of those cyclopses or something where you just got one, or maybe you got three. But anyway, so you want to make sure that you protect them by wearing the appropriate eye protection gear, like these glasses right here. So you saw all the dust and debris flying from the miter saw when we were cutting that piece of wood. But dust and debris, or dust, is one thing when it comes to getting in your eyes, right? It can be very irritating and very painful at times. But what's even worse is cutting metal, and the metal shavings, which can be just as fine as the dust, when that gets into your eyes, that's a whole nother story. Metal getting embedded into your eyeball. You don't want that at all. So you may want to wear something even more protective than these glasses. I would suggest getting a face shield, okay? When you're cutting things like metal. This protects not only your eyes, but it protects the rest of your face, your nostrils, your mouth, etc. See those metal shavings from what we just cut? You definitely don't want that getting in your eyes. Now, I know you noticed all the sparks that were flying everywhere when I was cutting that metal, right? They were hitting the table, hitting me, just flying everywhere, having a good old time, right? But be careful. If you get too close to those sparks while they're flying, you could get burned. When you cut metal with a cutoff wheel like I just did, it leaves the metal with a very jagged edge at the cutting area, as you can see right there. It's very jagged, very dangerous to handle as well. So you want to grind that down or deburr it, okay? And the way you grind it down is usually with a flap disc like I have installed in the grinder right now, okay? This flap disc will grind down all the rough edges, but it's going to create sparks just like the cutoff wheel did. And if you get too close to the sparks, you may get burnt. See that's how dangerous those sparks can be. It burnt right through this cloth because it was too close. If you get too close to them or you're positioned in the wrong way when you're grinding or cutting and the sparks are hitting you and you're not paying attention, hey, you can burst into flames. You saw that just happen just now. This happened before while I was doing a project. That's what happened. It burst into flames. And you see that fires can start in your clothes if you're not paying attention. So guys, pay attention to the sparks. Okay guys, another thing that you do not want to neglect are your lungs. You got to protect your lungs, okay? So if you're out there working and there's a lot of debris flying around, dust, fumes, you got to protect your lungs. You don't want to inhale all that stuff, okay? One way you can prevent yourself from inhaling that stuff is buying a mask with some filters like this right here. This is a mask with filters, so if you're in the midst of a lot of debris, a lot of fumes, you can put it on. And protect yourself from inhaling all those harmful fumes, dust, debris, metal shavings, whatever. At the very least, you want to have some kind of face mask to protect your lungs, all right? This is a simple face mask right here. It's not as elaborate as the one I just showed you, but everybody's familiar with this these days, right? And I totally understand the complaint about these kinds of masks fogging up your glasses if you wear them, all right? Or any kind of goggles or eye protection. These can fog them up, but they do have masks out there like this one with vents in them to help prevent that from happening, okay? So you definitely want to get some kind of face mask to help protect yourself while you're out there in the field. Guys, you got to protect your ears, okay? You only got two of them, like I said. You only got two eyes, you only got two ears, you only got two nostrils, you got two lungs, all right? You only got two ears, right? Over time, those loud noises, those loud sounds, the grinding, the cutting, okay, the hammering, over time, they can really damage your eardrums and you can lose your hearing slowly but surely, all right? So you want to protect them. Easy fix to that. When you're doing something that's making a lot of loud noises or loud, sharp, grinding noises or anything like that, get some ear muffs, put them over your ears, and trust me, that helps. It's a world of difference. If you don't have those on hand, get you some earplugs, okay? These things are cheap, and all you gotta do is take them, plug them in your ears. Your ears are safe now. All right, so what about when the lights go out or it gets dark on you? Get you a headband flashlight to put on your head to see in the dark. Let there be light. You don't want to be stumbling around in the dark with a tool in your hand, especially a power tool that's on. And what if it starts raining on you, right? Or you get wet somehow? Well, that's why you want to have a poncho or raincoat on hand just for those situations, okay? Simple safety tip. Okay, guys, I'm sure you could have thought of about a million more safety tips that I could have added to the video, but I'd be here all night, right? But the goal was just to get you guys familiar with the importance of safety and that it should be the first thing that you think about anytime you approach a project, a job, or anything like that, okay? So guys, if you learned something from the video, okay, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and check out all the other videos. We got some great content, and I hope to see you next time.